welcome back to Point Blank. As you can see for yourself, it's Pet Special tonight. Well, we're on the topic of pets. We know how much some owners really love their pets. As the editor of Pet Magazine, do you cover a wide range of pets, like besides dogs, fishes, cats, and whatnot?
Well, we cover mainly dog-related content because the statistics show that we did a readership survey like 1 year ago, and about 75% of our readers are dog owners. So dog content definitely dominate the magazine, followed by cat and bunnies. But very seldom, in fact hardly do we have the rest of the species.
So in terms of ranking, dogs first, cats second, and
rabbits
third.
Because Singapore's small now, so you get all the small.
It gets smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a pet owner yourself?
Yeah, I'm a cat owner.
What kind of cat do you have?
Actually, I adopted a stray.
Okay.
So it's a local.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
a stray.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel very, do you feel, how much do you love your pet? What are you willing to do for your pet? I mean, it's a cat, but...
Oh.
Yeah, personally speaking, of course, every pet owner has a different bonding and different relationship with their pets. For me, I mean, cats are mainly self-sustained. They can
Cats
go
are like
about
teenagers,
by
so they don't want
themselves.
to talk to you.
Yeah, yeah. But sometimes they can get affectionate also. I mean, of course
they
I
feel
love...
like it, lah.
Yeah. I mean, of course I love my cat, but, a pet can only take up so much of your life, but it actually helps you with other aspects of your life as well. Yeah.
Like how?
Like in terms of emotional attachment, and sometimes when you don't have people to talk to, you can talk to your pet. You can imagine that they're listening to you.
Imagine.
Oh, but they do listen.
Yeah.
They do listen, but whether they understand you is another issue, right? Do you
That's
think
debatable.
you think your dog understands what you're saying?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, she thinks that your dog understands. Ling, you love your dog a lot, I can tell. And you say that you prefer them to having children. What explains that emotional attachment to your pets?
I think you get them no matter what age you have them, when you adopt them. Pets don't seem to judge you and stuff. I mean, my sister has kids and she's happy, but when they come and stay at my place, because we live in Australia, so when they visit Singapore, they live in my house for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, I'm thinking, when are they going to go home? When can I get rid of the kids? Because it's like, mommy, what's this? What's that? Mommy,
give
what
me
is
dogs
what?
anytime.
And dogs will just sit there.
My dogs
and
don't
look
ask
at
me
you
any
and adore
questions.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dog just loves me. Yeah,
So yeah, that's why.
Okay, so the reason you prefer them to kids is because your dog is more, how would I put it, more giving and less,
Unconditional love, yeah.
and asks for less. Is that what you're saying?
They don't ask for much, no. They just want to go out and walk and play and feed them, and that's about it, really.
So how do you feel every day you come home? Are you working now?
Yeah, I'm just...
So how do you feel every time you come back home and then your pet is right there waiting for you? What's your first thought that comes to your mind?
I'm happy to see the dog always giving me a good welcome. I have cats as well, and
We're together.
yes, they sleep together. They love
Oh,
each other,
okay.
and the cats
Well, it's
greet me
like
at the door too.
United
Everybody's at the
Nations.
door. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. So they socialize very well.
Yeah, my dogs love cats, and the cats think that all dogs
Should
are
put your
nice.
cat along.
Yeah, maybe that would have been interesting.
Yeah,
My cat will
interesting.
scratch his way out of here. He actually scratched me a
Oh,
week ago.
show the camera.
Okay.
Your scratch.
This scratch,
Oh,
yeah.
here it is.
Over here. Can you see the scratch? Yeah, I used to own a cat. It's a quite big, what's it? I forgot what sort of cat it was. Just big and white. Right.
Big white cat.
She used to,
okay.
every time, because I adopted her from somebody else, she would, every time you reach out to stroke her, she would either clamp her fangs down on you or scratch you. I think she had separation anxiety from her
Maybe.
previous owners. So, and cats get really, iffy when it comes to
Yeah, she's like,
strangers.
I want my own owners.
Yeah. But she can be loving when she comes, when she feels like it. She will, purr, rub herself against your leg, her head against your leg and stuff. How about you, Stan? You obviously love your dog so much, you name your store after her.
Yeah. Well, the joke of this is that when we first opened the store,
Yeah.
somebody asked us, is that your Jeannie's, the store name, is that your wife?
Oh yeah, is Ginny your wife?
So I said no.
Is she your wife? No, Jenny's my dog.
I think in a way is before I came to start this business, I was in a hotelist. So the kind of stress that you're in, I think it helps each time when you come back. And the first thing that greets you is your dog. And then being a retriever, they always retrieve something to show you.
Retrieving
skills.
I brought
Come pet
something.
me and love me and hug me. So it makes your day. I think that's really lighten your day at the end of the day of work, heavy work and stress. You come back and you're so loved by the dog.
Many dog owners and pet owners will attest to the fact that, dogs are therapeutic. Dogs love you almost unconditionally, if not many attest to the fact that dogs love them unconditionally.
Yeah, as long as you feed them.
As long as you feed them. Even starved bones, bare bones. Well, we've seen, as far as we've seen tonight, we know that dogs need a lot of care, lots of attention. Well, because after all, they are men's best friend, aren't they? Well, some people seem to disagree, although, because as seen from the number of dogs that have been given up for adoption or abandoned on the streets. Well, the RazorTV team looks into the unfortunate reality of these unwanted dogs, and we find out what you can do to stop it.
I promise to care for and cherish my pet for life. It's heartening to see the signatures of over 100 Singaporeans on this board pledging to be responsible pet owners. However, the unfortunate reality is that there are still people out there who abandon their beautiful pedigree dogs without regard for their safety and welfare. Is there anything we can do to stop this? Let's get the perspectives of the experts and find out. Currently, pet abandonment is legislated as an offense under Section 42 of the Animals and Birds Act. Despite the stiff penalties, however, AVA has impounded over 2,000 stray dogs over the last 3 years, and SPCA has been taking in an average of 800 unwanted pets every month. We speak to Mr. K. Madhavan, head of AVA's Center for Animal Welfare and Control, to find out more. It's quite hard to actually catch pet owners in the actual act of abandoning their pets. So how does this law work then?
The law helps to deter people from doing it because the fines are quite stiff and the penalty is quite high. The other thing is that because of a law being made known to a larger group of people, the public have become more aware of this law. So the public could also act as the third eye for the enforcement agency.
AVA currently assigns each pet shop a certain grade based on its combined percentage score, or CPS. CPS is a combination of the pet shop's compliance with license conditions and adoption of best practices. Have you received any reports or complaints about pet shops not making sure that the dogs are in good condition?
There are a few allegations, and some of these have been found to have been substantiated, and where we have found them to have breached conditions of licensing, we do take action on them.
To complement regulations, pet shop gradings are also put up on AVA's website. So if consumers find anything amiss, they can contact the authorities quickly. The rules may be set in place, but are they effective in curtailing pet abandonment? SPCA Singapore's Executive Officer Deirdre Moss sheds light on what really goes on. If they knew that they had no time to look after the dogs, then why do you think are they sold the dogs in the first place, or why do they buy them in the first place?
Well, I think part of the reason is that the animals are cute. They go to the pet shop with the idea of getting a pet, but they haven't considered the responsibilities first. Like, we have dog care seminars, but the people who are not going to bother about, taking time out to learn how to take care of their pets, they may not bother attending. So we still have to be, I would say, become more aggressive in our education and try and attract those people or make it compulsory. SPCA has always, we've been writing in recent years to the authorities to try and restrict breeding because we believe that there are too many pets on sale. People are spoilt for choice. We're living in a very consumer-oriented society where, you can just go out and buy a pet like a piece of furniture and dump it when it doesn't work or when it's misbehaving. I think it was a very good thing that the government implemented microchipping, and I think that's very positive that the government's moved in this direction, and also accrediting pet shops.
Rules may be in place, but they mean nothing if people don't adhere to them. Do pet shop operators and pet owners observe these rules vigilantly, or are they merely words on paper? Let's find out.
Normally, after we sell the puppy, we will contact them again. So to keep it up, to see how's the dog, how do you find the dog, can you cope with the dog. So anything we can help with you. If any problem, they can call us 24 hours.
Whose responsibility is it to make sure that the dog has a good home and is taken care of well?
The owner and the family, the whole family. It's not just one family member in the house, it's the whole family member.
Now that we've got the expert's take, let's find out what the word on the street is. What do you think of people who buy dogs because they think that they're so cute, and then after a while they find out that they cannot take care of the dog, so they give up the dogs?
I think it's really irresponsible for them, because if you want to keep a dog in the first place, you actually have to think about the responsibilities that come with it. You have to clean him up, you have to feed him. Basically, it's like taking care of a baby. So they should really think about it before they really go to the pet shop and, oh, it's so cute. All those pet store owners should also remind them of the responsibility that it brings with her.
For us, actually, first few months was quite tough with her. Learn to be more giving, I guess. Yeah.
I don't think there's any way to stop people from buying. There's no way you can stop that. People buy, if they have the money, they can buy whatever dog they want. But it's up to the people themselves to judge whether they can keep him for a long time.
Awareness, I suppose, campaigns to tell people how difficult it is to bring up dogs. Yeah.
So do you think that it's a shared responsibility between pet owners and the sellers as well?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact in Western country, especially in the States, the breeder actually meets the owner before they purchase it. And
they see the environment as well.
Yeah.
Because if the pet shop sellers don't actually remind them, right, at the end of the day, when owners get very sick and tired of the dogs already, like for example, they feel that they cannot take care of the dog anymore, and then they start abandoning the dogs and creates more problem for SPCA.
It is. Yes, you have to take care of him. When he's fall sick, you have to bring to the vet. You got to bring him out for walks every day, because he cannot be kept up in the house, all day long. It's like human beings. Yeah. You need to get out, get some fresh air.
It is, but it's a big bundle of joy as well.
Much as your pet can be a bundle of joy, sometimes reality sets in and people do abandon their dogs, as can be seen by SPCA statistics of 800 abandoned pets every month. That's a lot of pets to see abandoned in Singapore every month.
And not just dogs, like cats, rabbits, even hamsters.
Yeah, can you imagine a little bunny let go?
I've seen rabbits out there on the road, and it's quite sad because they fall prey to cats and bigger
they fall
dogs.
prey to anything, to cars, to
cars,
humans,
definitely.
stomp on them and then they get flattened.
Yeah.
I mean, most of these pets won't be able to defend themselves because they're domestic to begin with.
Yeah, they don't know what to do when they're out in the open.
For you as pet owners, what's the feeling that comes out of you when you hear of people who abandon their pets, just because they can't care for them or for various reasons?
I think when I heard first of it that people abandon the dogs, I think it's a very sad thing because they see it as a kind of things that they buy on the shops and everything. It look cute. It's always look cute when they're in 2 months, 3 months. Right? But I think the important thing is really learning how to love them and even providing the environment for them to grow. That's to me is important.
How about you, Ling?
I think most people when they buy animals, I have friends who buy animals and then they say dogs and then they say, why is my dog not as obedient as yours? I think everybody should go through an obedience training class. Actually,
the owners of
yes, the owners to train the owners. Yeah,
to how to care and to control their dogs as well.
Then when the dog can please them, then they're happy with the dog, and the dog's happy because then they won't be abandoned. Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point because most of the time, owners abandon their pets because they feel that they're too much to handle.
Yeah, I guess you don't realize it's a very big responsibility because you're taking another life and it's like a baby and you're supposed to look after it, but you don't.
Yeah. That's true. So, he's about the size of a baby.
Yeah, he is.
So do you feel like that onrush of affection every time you see
such a tiny dog? Oh, definitely. It's like, oh, so cute. No, only for my dog.
Okay, very discriminatory owner.
Okay.
That's what they say about parents as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, my baby's always like
my baby's the cutest.
Okay. I can grant you that. As an editor, Grayson, of Pet Magazine, what are the instances you have, in the stories that you've covered about, pet abandonment, dog abandonment in Singapore?
Well, actually, a lot of cases of pet abandonment. I mean, since there are a lot of dog owners, most of the pets that are being abandoned are dogs. So most of the cases is because of the owners being unable to tolerate the dog's behavior. And of course, there are other reasons also, but that, from what I notice, is the most common ones. But, there is a saying that there's no bad dog, it's only a bad owner. It's because all dogs' behavior stem from how the owners treat their dog and train their dogs. And of course, if the dogs don't behave well, it's not the dog's fault.
Well, you say how they train and treat their dog, or the lack of training, for example. Yeah. Well, we have a web comment right now. Let's take a look at the web. Red Devil on RazorTV's website asks, what do you all think about people bringing dogs that are not suited to our hot climate, like the husky or the Malamute? Dog owners, you can start. How about you,
go ahead. Well, Ruffles is from Scotland. She's got undercoat, so we shave her.
She's a Scottish dog.
Yeah, she's Scottish. Yeah, so she gets hot very easily, and she's black. So we just shave her now. Lots of water. Put on the aircon, and she's all right.
Okay, but for huskies and Malamutes, they can't be shaved because they have a double coat. If you were to shave off both their coats, then they actually lose the mechanism in their coats to actually retain the coolness that's needed in a hot climate.
I think what you should do is just keep it in an air-conditioned room or near a fan. I mean, I know a lot of people with huskies who won't do that, and it's actually very cruel to the dog because they suffer.
How about you, Stan? What do you think?
I think the kind of weather that we are in is tough for the dog. Yeah. I have a friend that having a husky. They actually put 24 hours the dog in an aircon.
Yeah,
so that's why I felt that it's important. Maybe it's not the right climate for this kind of dogs.
I've had neighbors who put their dogs, both of them huskies, out in a little tin shed in the sun, like outdoors. But what do you think of it when people say that these dogs can acclimatize?
I don't believe that. Yeah, I agree about the aircon and stuff.
So it seems like the only way for huskies to live is in your daycare center.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, on that note, we have to go for a break right now, but we'll be back right on the dot with more on pets. Stay with us on Point Blank.